What's up, guys? It's Kelsey, and I am so glad you're here because today we're going to be doing one of my favorite things, my favorite pastime. I don't want to say favorite because, what does this say about me? It's something I enjoy. We're going to go to Reddit and we're going to AITA, and I'm going to discover if they are the butthole or they're not. Just going to give my thoughts. Let's just get into it. I'm really excited because this is one of my favorites. I keep saying that. I just said I wasn't going to say it's my favorite thing to do. I don't want to say it's my favorite. And then everyone's like, oh, she's so messy. It's like, no, they're interesting and people, they really, they be tweaking. So I just like to get on Reddit and see what's going on. People on Reddit are fun. Okay. So let's just find a really good and juicy one. Anytime something about how I treated my half brother, that is just really attention grabbing. So we're going to do this one. AITA for how I treated my half brother. I was reading that wrong, girl. I thought she was saying my mom is 15. Okay. My mom went homeless and my dad let her and her kids. Okay. My dad is at work from 9 to 17. Y'all British, why are we using military time? Okay, 9 to 17, and he absolutely hates sandwiches and cold food or leftovers. Now that I have some free time, I like to cook him lunch and take to his workplace for him. Yesterday, I got home to see that my own portion of food was gone. My half-brother apologized and said he was really hungry and it smelled good. Some backstory is that my mom's kids stay home all day and are expected to make a sandwich or something with groceries their own mom buys. He said he was sick of sandwiches and I always cook these nice meals and won't share with them. I got angry and told him it was my lunch that he ate and sent him to his room. When my mom came home, she got angry and said I'm a selfish for treating my half brother like that. She said she'll pay me for the meal and said it wouldn't kill me to cook for my half siblings as well. I told her this is her job, not mine, and I'm sick of her attitude and had to go hungry for an hour because of her son. She called me the butthole. What's the tea? I think what I want to do here is I think I should give my thoughts before I read theirs, because otherwise it's going to be low-key biased because I don't know. I don't want to slip into a people-pleasing mindset and starts, I want to be unbiased. So I'm going to give my thoughts first. I don't think she is. Because first of all, I don't think anybody is. That boy, her half brother is only 13. That's a young person. They're going to eat your food. It's not malicious. They're just thinking instant gratification. I want to eat. It's messed up, but I can see how a 13-year-old would eat their sibling's lunch. That might happen once or twice. Also, she's 15, so you're young. You're also gonna have those heightened reactions to certain things. Did we need to send him to his room? I don't know. It's not necessary. But I can understand her being you ate my food, now what am I going to eat? I think my biggest issue here is I'm not saying the kids should do nothing around the house, but maybe if the mom, or it's a mom at work, or where's the mom at? Anyways, I just think it would help if sometimes mom cooked so that this wouldn't be a burden on the children. And the mom seems a bit extreme because why are we calling our daughter the B word? But okay. TBH, I would just tell your mom that she, as the adult, that's literally bar for bar what I just said, can cook for her kids, not you. Yeah, she won't bother. This is OP. She thinks the free house should come with the free cook as well. Am I horrible for saying that could be playing into the homelessness? You can't be... No, that just feels wrong. There is a lot of missing context on this story, but you're NTA for not cooking for your siblings when there are 2 adults in the house. It sounds like things are difficult, though. Hope you've got some support. That part. Have you talked to your dad about this? Because you shouldn't be cooking for your step siblings. NTA, but cut the kids some slack. They already are on losing side with mom like that and have no one in their corner. The only one at fault is mom. Yeah, agreed. I think this is an issue with the mom, not the kids. And the kids are collateral damage, which is unfortunate because, obviously they don't deserve that. But okay. Oh, this is crazy. AITA telling my kids they can go get their mother's stuff at the local Goodwill. Now, this one, they're saying NTA A, not the butthole, right? I'm curious how that's even possible based on the title, but okay. I lost my spouse around a year ago. It was ongoing and I knew it was coming. That's really sad. All of the kids are grown and out of the home. It has been a rough year and living in a home filled with their stuff has been getting too much. It makes me depressed. It is like living in a museum that I can never get away from. I didn't realize how bad it was until I left to visit family and I didn't want to come home. I have to live there and I decided that I want to clean it out and not make it a museum of the dead. Crazy sentence, but I hear you. I did keep a few things that are sentimental, but I don't need to see my spouse's shoes at the front door or all the clothes that won't get worn again. Facts. I packed up a few boxes of what I want to keep and told my kids to come over to get anything of their mothers. They never came over. I told them I am going to toss/donate their mother's stuff. They still did not come over. I did this for about a month before I started to even move stuff to the garage. Around 2 weeks ago, I started the long process of getting rid of a lot of her things. The house is much nicer and I don't dread coming home to it anymore. I was avoiding it by going to the bar after work, but now I don't have to. Aww. The issue is, my daughter came over yesterday to pick up some decorations for a party. She got very upset when she saw the house and started yelling at me for getting rid of their mom's stuff. I reminded her I was doing that, and I told everyone multiple times. She apparently didn't think I was serious about it and was pissed. The rest of the kids are pissed that I got rid of her stuff, that they denied them getting stuff from their mothers. Again, I told them at least 15 times to come get anything they wanted. I even told them when I was starting to pack it up to donate. I told them to go to the local Goodwill for her stuff, because that is where I put basically everything. They got more pissed, saying they should not have to pay for her stuff. I reminded them that I gave them plenty of time to come get things. I didn't hide this. I was very clear about this. They are still pissed. Hot dog, bro. Like, that's kind of a lot. I don't know. Anyways, he's not NTA. Because, bro, that has to be so freaking depressing coming home. You're grieving your spouse, and it's not even been like 2 years, bro. And you see her shoes sitting at the door like she's coming home every day, and she's not, and you never see her again. So obviously, this man needs to heal and move on and reset his environment. And his kids had a chance to grab what they wanted. They didn't take him seriously. I don't know why not. They're grown. So yeah, that's not on him. But I think most people will agree. Yeah, they should have helped. Not only should he have done it, but he shouldn't have done it alone. Sorry for your loss, NTA. I kind of want to see someone as saying like he's in the wrong, but literally everyone agrees because we're all decent human beings. And I agree with that comment that like they're also dealing with the loss of their mother. So obviously they're going to have like, they're acting in a way that maybe they normally wouldn't. Like, you know, I'm sure with time and with healing, they'll understand. But right now it's probably like, I can't believe you threw away my mother's stuff and I can never get it back. I don't know why they can't believe it because he told them that's what was going to happen, but it's okay. Okay, this one feels interesting. I know they're saying NTA, but like, why are we bringing alcohol to an alcoholic's house? Let's find out. Throwaway. My wife got a verbal invitation from a coworker about a watch party for the World Cup a few weeks ago. We had nothing to do that Saturday, so I said we should go. She's only worked at this place for about 6 months. She knows her coworkers, but not that close. I picked up a few six-packs, and on the day of, we Ubered to the party. We walked in and greeted a few people, found a cooler, and put our drinks in. Got one for my wife and I, then went to greet more people and settle in. When I was introduced to the coworker, she was very cold with me and then finally said we don't allow alcohol at the house. I apologized and said I didn't know. She said her husband, who I did meet a few minutes earlier, was a recovering alcoholic. With an attitude, she said people shouldn't assume alcohol is allowed at others' homes and should check first. Personally, I hear party, kids party the exception. I assume drinks are being served. It was bizarre and we opted to leave. Are we the buttholes? Let's get into it. Guys, honestly, no. If it's not allowed, why wouldn't you just say that beforehand? Why wouldn't you just say, hey, by the way, don't bring any alcohol? Because I feel like it should be assumed that like they might. And even if you don't drink, there's a lot of people who don't drink themselves, but they're okay being around other people who are drinking and they just don't partake. So it's like, it's possible that they would have gone in there and worst case scenario been like, oh, I'm not going to have one, but you enjoy yourself. So like making it seem like they did something wrong is kind of bananas, but yeah, that is on the host / coworker for not letting them know. The only exception I'd say is if OP's wife forgot to tell them, but if she knew, she definitely would have said something before getting in the Uber, so I doubt that's what occurred. Yeah, this is literally just like people not communicating enough. That's something you got to tell adults in advance if you're hosting a party, because the majority of adults drink at social gatherings. That's really the end of the line. I don't know. It's like, it seems like people are saying NTA, 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 NTA. Ooh, let's hear from Poodles, because Poodles has some like personal experience here. I'm 3.5 years sober. If I didn't want alcohol in my house, I would make sure the guests were made aware. Period. Especially for something like a football match where having a few beers is the social norm. I feel like that makes sense. Like, I don't even know why you would post. Oh, well, the poster is like, yeah, it makes sense. I don't know why the person in that story was not clocking that T. This feels interesting. AITA for not wanting my sister-in-law at my house anymore. I just lost my son. Oh my gosh. My son is not my husband. Nobody here knows how to write, but okay. And when we first found out, my sister-in-law came down to check on us. On the second day, she asked her brother, my husband, to make her a crab boil and didn't pay for any of the food. That's absolutely wicked. The weeks before the memorial, all my family members came down to help us and pay for items that we need. My husband's family didn't call or send us a card. The day of the memorial, I asked everyone to wear black with a hint of sunflower due to that being the last activity we did as a family. Jeez. My sister-in-law wore a dress with just all flowers and a sunflower-like hat and then proceeded to talk about how she is the lit auntie and how everyone wants to be around her and how she says she sees him in her dreams. After the memorial, she was flirting with my brother, who is married. Where are y'all from? I would like to know. I would just like to know, because I have an image in my head. Then the next day after the memorial, my family went out to cheer my kids up. My sister-in-law waited until everyone left. She sits next to me and says, "You look relieved." I asked her, "What did you say?" She said it again. Then talked about how my sister were looking older than their ages and how one of my sisters is looking older than she is. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. Then on the last day she was here, she texted me, she left something. I looked at it and it turned out to be champagne. I told my husband what she said and she told him what she said, that it was an accident, but never told me she is sorry. I told my husband that she needs to leave and I don't want her at my house. AITA for not wanting my sister-in-law to stay at my house anymore. No, you're not, but you are, in the sense that the way you wrote that was horrible. That was hard to follow, and I can read. My thoughts are, girl, your sister-in-law, boo. Like, I wouldn't want her around my house either. And at the same time, it's like the fact that she is doing all of this when you literally just lost your son is diabolical. I'm sure, to be completely honest, your husband doesn't want her around either. He's just doing that because that's his sister and she has to be around. She does sound like a narcissist and a monster. Yeah, a monster again. She made your son's memorial about herself. That's like literally wicked. Your sister-in-law is a thoughtless wench. That's how I read that. She clearly lacks any type of empathy and filter. I'm glad y'all clocked that, because for real, everyone sucks. I gotta find out. Okay, this may be our last one. I think this will be a really good one for the last one. AITA for taking my sister's depression dog away from her. About 2 years ago, my parents split and this really affected my sister. First of all, your sister's 17, so I already know everyone here is young, and anytime there are young people dealing with anything, I just feel like, I don't know, you're running the risk of being, I don't know, hurting the other person or being the butthole for sure. So I just feel like, yeah, anyways, who it really affected my sister, who about the same time was diagnosed with depression. I, 24, being a university student who lives away from home, couldn't be there for her all the time. And with my parents' divorce, it was really hard for her to find a stable place to call home. So I talked with my mom, who she chose to live with, about getting my sister a dog in hopes to help her with recovery. We both knew it would be challenging as my mom is a part-time nurse, so she wouldn't be able to help with taking care of the dog as much as she would like. After a bunch of talking, we eventually got my sister a year-old poodle, and it seemed to be great for her. She was getting out the house more and really taking care of herself. And with some help of the most lovely neighbor in the world, the dog was doing great too. A year later, during the semester break, I went back home for a 2-week visit, and in all honesty, the first thing I noticed was that the dog was severely overweight. I asked about it, and my sister brushed it off, saying he's just older now. He's 2, but okay. Regardless, I took the dog to the vet, where I was told he would need to be put on a diet and exercise more frequently. I told this to my sister, who was very angry. I did this behind her back. In hindsight, I should have spoken to her about this, but said she would do what the vet said. And during the 2 weeks, it looked like she was doing this. I then went back to university. When the uni year ended, I went back, and the dog still looked like a large spherical ball of poodle. I asked my sister about it, and she said she had done everything the vet asked. I went back to the vet, who told me my sister had not been back for follow-ups. After this, I again spoke to my sister about it, where she said, "It's my dog, why do you care?" This really got to me, and so I took the dog to live with me and my dad, where I would have been for the last month or so. Since then, he's been back on track for his weight loss journey and looks much healthier. Over this period, my sister has been nonstop about getting the dog back, calling me 24/7 and getting into yelling matches in person, and I really don't know what to do. I understand that this dog has been great for her mental and physical well-being, but I feel like her actions or lack of is just abusive to the pup. But at the same time, I feel like I'm hurting my sister by taking the thing that has helped her so much over the last couple of years, AITA. Edit. All 3 of us discussed it over at the time, and she was really into the idea of a dog. We all talked about responsibility and managed to get the neighbor involved, who took care of him on days when my sister and mother couldn't, and also took care of his grooming once every 6 or so weeks. Edit 2. My sister had been in and out of therapy for the last 3 years to varying degrees of success. It was only at a point where she was in recovery that the therapist suggested the idea of a dog. Finance and transportation are not an issue for anyone. The vet is a 10-minute walk from my mom's house, and both my mom and sister can drive, and the dog has insurance. All right. I know they're saying everyone's the butthole, but I'm gonna be real. I don't think that the original poster is. I don't think that she is. I think that she's overstepping, but that doesn't make you literally like the butthole, bro. Like, she clearly just doesn't like seeing that dog be abused. Because, like, to make that dog overweight and know that that dog needs more exercise and a diet and deny them that, like, that is kind of messed up, bro. Like, that's still a living, like, being. And I feel like she was just like, I'm not going to watch you give this dog a heart attack and kill it. And you're being irresponsible. The girl probably would have been 18 by that point. And, or it says 17 in the post. So maybe she was 16 when she got the dog and she's 17 now. Either way, I feel like this is literally one of those situations where the older sister was trying to do the right thing, but it's not her place necessarily to take someone's dog from them. Like, that upsets people. But at the same time, I feel like she gave her sister a chance. She took the dog to the vet behind her back, which again, should have not done it behind her back. But I mean, it was a necessary visit. And I just feel like, I don't know, maybe it's an older sister in me, but if I saw my sister doing some mess like that, like, I low-key would have taken the dog too. I think you just have to think about it from a sibling perspective. Like, I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to run your life, but I'm also not going to watch you kill a dog. And so I am interfering. And I think the younger sister, I think she's young and depressed, and so it doesn't shock me that she is having a hard time. But this person says, ESH, your sister is old enough to take care of the dog, but you never involved her in the care of the dog. See, that's the part I don't agree with, because I feel like I guess she should have told her beforehand with the vet stuff, but like once I take the dog to the vet and I tell you that the dog needs a diet, even if you're mad that I'm the one who went to the vet, the dog still needs a diet, regardless of who's behind it. So it's like the fact that I went away to school again and came back and you still haven't put the dog on the diet means you're not gonna. You just said you took the dog to the vet. Again, though, she's old enough to understand the vet said this and the dog needs it. Exactly. I suggest bringing sister-in-law to the vet, having the vet explain that the dog being overweight can cause them extreme pain. That's smart. Basically saying that the sister needed to hear it from the vet directly. It shouldn't take that, but it might, and it would have made her feel like, oh, okay, like I'm somewhat in control of this situation because that's my dog. I will also NTA, the dog needed to be properly taken care of. Good for you for stepping up. Yes. And kind of experiment gone wrong, and unfortunately now the sister and dog have suffered. OP should have included her in the talk about responsibility before just buying her the dog. I hear that too, but they're like, again, the edit said that she did talk to her sister about it beforehand and her mother. So that's also kind of like, it's like we already told you, obviously it's a dog. And she's old enough to know that if you have a dog, you have to take care of the dog. Obviously, bro. You know that dog was big. They said spherical shape. That's a big dog. You knew something was wrong. Honestly, YTA for getting a living being for a person with depression to take care of and only really making sure it was treated right when you're on semester breaks from school. Yeah, there is a whole parent in that house who did nothing. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I feel like they were trying to do a good thing. And let me go back up because the therapist is the one who said something about it, right? I feel like they said something like the therapist only said it once she was. Yes, it was only at a point where she was in recovery that the therapist suggested the idea of a dog. So it's not even like they just went and got her a dog. The therapist is saying, get her a dog. I don't know. I can see how they did that. Dang. This person says, YTA 10 times, bro. Your sister's depressed, so you get her a dog without consulting her. You don't even check on her or the dog until you get off break. You take the dog to the vet without consulting her. You ghost again and come back. You should have known repeatedly you do this on your own accord despite others' feelings. They're basically saying, like, you're inconsiderate. You just be doing stuff without asking the other people. I will say that was a thought that came to my mind when I first read this. I was like, she's continuously, like, overstepping. But again, I think she's just, it's misguided, but it has good intentions. I feel like you can tell. This person is saying ESH, but more so you. The dog was not yours, full stop. You stole it and you could get into actual legal trouble for this. Your sister should have been taking better care of the dog, but I honestly wouldn't have gotten her the dog in the first place, at least not without a long discussion with her about whether she would even want a dog. Yeah, why is the daughter making decisions and not the mother? In my own opinion, my mother feels a lot of guilt over my sister's well-being and is reluctant to tell her no. She's most definitely aware of the dog's poor health, but leaves the majority of the responsibility of the dog to my sister. I made the choice to take the dog because I was concerned that my sister would not follow through with her promise to improve the dog's health and my mother enabling her neglect by refusing to put her foot down. I don't know. I feel like that makes sense. I'm not gonna lie. So that's my opinion. I'm actually gonna label that one as NTA. I know they're saying ESH, but I'm going to say NTA. Anyways, guys, this has been really fun for me. I may do this again if you guys like it, so just let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.